Hey everyone, episode 3 of Star Wars Skeleton Crew is out, and with a title like Very Interesting as an Astrogation Problem. The theme is crystal clear, I think. I don't know. It's kind of a weird title. In any case, this episode has got to take off or it risks losing its series audience. So, does it pull it off, or are we still kind of in that building phase? Let's dig in, but first, be sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing because I love having you here. Thank you so much. Episode 3 follows the kids and Jude and Underwood as they escape from the pirates' prison, blasting their way out of the spaceport. They seek help from an old friend of Jude's who is experienced with star maps and tracking down those lost planets. But as is often the case in Star Wars, things don't always go as planned. From start to finish, the episode delivers strong, consistent action with just enough bumps and just enough twists to keep the story from falling into a predictable pattern. It actually accomplishes two key story goals in a single episode without feeling rushed or anything like that. The escape from the pirates, that's one, and uncovering a clue about ATTIN'S location, that's two. And we also get some good character development by learning how experienced Jude has become at navigating life on the run, which now includes protecting a group of kids who are as resourceful as they are stubborn. He has a knack for pulling off dramatic escapes that is absolutely reminiscent of the action and excitement that we get within the animated series, The Clone Wars. And in many ways, I would say that Skeleton Crew feels like an extension of that series because of John Underwood. The biggest theme in this episode, and likely the series itself, is trust. The kids come from this secretive planet that is essentially lost in time. They know nothing of the wider galaxy. They don't know what's going on. Jod is a mystery, and while Wim immediately trusts him because he sees the guy as kind of a Jedi, and they're trained to trust Jedis or they're trained on Jedi lore from the Republic era, it's an automatic win for Wim. But the others, not so much. They don't quite fall into that trusting pattern with him because he is so different from what they were expecting. And John never openly admits to being a Jedi, but the groundwork is there. If John turns out not to be a Jedi, all of this mystery could become a huge disappointment for fans and a breach of trust with the audience, which would be reminiscent of our breach of trust, again, trust, regarding Rey's story in Rise of Skywalker. So let's hope that they sidestep that trap. The lack of trust for the kids really bubbles up throughout the episode as the kids learn that Jod has given them multiple names: Jod on the Wood, Captain Silver, Crimson Jack. Their trust issues reach this critical forcing point when they make Jod tell them something. And frustrated, he opens up. He has this moment of honesty in which he admits that he is as lost and alone as they are, creating a genuine connection between them. The kids ultimately let him on the ship, but only after Fern renegotiates their relationship. Either Jod works for them or he doesn't come along. This shift in power dynamics is subtle yet powerful, showcasing the kid's growing sense of agency and his willingness to actually trust them. The kid's parents wait anxiously for news only to learn that since the ship went beyond the barrier, there is nothing that the government or the security droids is willing to do to help them. The planet's mystery also deepens as we learn that Atton is one of the gems of the Republic, worlds that were either hidden or destroyed during the Republic era, turning it into this galactic myth. The planet is hiding something. Its government places its secrecy above the welfare of the children, and we see how the ideas of trust and deception have become tools of survival for everyone involved. Jod's old friend Kim, this owl-like creature and star map expert, assumes that he's kind of gone and kidnapped those kids, and she calls the authorities on him. When Jod realizes that Kim betrayed them and that the X-Wings are coming in, he hustles those kids back to the ship, grabbing the disc containing the potential coordinates for At-Atin. Now, we don't know if those coordinates were actual, if they're real, or if they're just kind of a general direction, but it's something, it's a clue, and it's a good kind of story friction point to bring us into the next episode. And Kim's betrayal really underscores Jod's deep distrust of others. And it also underscores what it must have taken for him to survive over the years, especially if he actually is a Jedi. The episode is filled with high stakes and high tension, but the biggest gut punch, it doesn't come from an overt moment. What we get here is kind of this indirect moment within the story. And what I'm talking about is when Fern and Wim treat their moon escape like some kind of video game as they climb into the gunner pods and shoot at the X-Wings that are following them. And they even hit one of them. The pilots let the ship go because they don't want to risk harming the children by forcing the ship down. It makes you wonder how Fern and Wim really would have reacted if they had killed one or even both of those X-Wing pilots, because they come from a peaceful planet and neither of them really understand death or violence. This kind of layered storytelling raises subtle moral questions without providing any answers. It kind of leaves it to the audience to realize these things and maybe even talk to their kids about these things. Instead, I gotta say, it's these little things like this that just kind of sit with you after the episode, creating these little moments of depth within the story that just leave you thinking. In my last review, I mentioned that KB's character was really thin, but in this episode, we actually see her as a person. Because of her cybernetic capabilities, she kind of takes in the world around her in a very analytical way. And that's different than the rest of the characters. And she even explains to Jod exactly why she doesn't trust him. She's very analytical about it. And in turn, he pauses and he gets this look on his face. And then he tells her in a very Jedi-like way that she should trust her gut just a little bit more. It's a small scene, but it's one of those moments that Jude Law just commands, creating this authentic interaction that reveals deeper characters for both of them in very significant ways. It emphasizes the episode's underlying theme as well. Episode 3 really is peppered with these little moments that show how good the writing is, how good the acting is, and how good the production is. And how when you get all three of those things right in a series like this, it turns what could have been a silly kids show into a complex Star Wars story for people of any age. 3 episodes in, and Skeleton Crew continues with its mix of nostalgia, action, and strong storytelling. The characters, both the kids and the adults, are growing in really complex ways, and the series, it just maintains this solid balance between exciting action and necessary plot points that keeps the pacing at a strong and steady level, with both pirates and the New Republic authorities now hot on their trail. The stakes increase because they have nobody else to trust but themselves. The show's ability to evoke these classic Star Wars vibes while delivering a fun and fresh story make it feel like one of the strongest Star Wars series that we've seen in recent years. And we are only on episode 3. And at this point, I'm definitely comfortable recommending it as kind of ticket worthy and worth the cost of a Disney Plus subscription because it feels like this story was written for this universe and this audience. So, Star Wars Skeleton Crew, are you watching it? Have you seen episode 3? And if so, what did you think? Is it tapping into those feelings of nostalgia for you? And is it paying off for Disney? Let me know in the comments how this series stands up for you and if it's something that you are going to keep watching. I'm really curious about this one. Be sure to give this review a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos because there are more coming. And in the meantime, hey, why not watch another review? Thanks so much, everybody. I'll see y'all again soon. Bye-bye for now.